So here's the worst thing about having bad habits, and that's waking up in the morning, being completely disturbed mentally, knowing that something is fundamentally wrong with my life. And I had that particular problem when I was on drugs. When I was on drugs, I would wake up in the morning and I would be panicking, I'd be disturbed. And from that disturbance, I engaged more in bad habits. I escaped reality more. And it was a fuck up. And I want to just tell you guys, if any of you are going through drug addiction at the moment, you are not seeing reality as it is. Reality is a nice thing. Reality is friendly. Reality is something that we are born to thrive in. But when we take drugs, when we engage in these bad habits, it destroys everything else, and it destroys a person in a way that is unbelievable. If I could put one mistake that I've made in my life, that would be that drug addiction was the biggest mistake I ever made. You know, in the drugs, you look for relief, and the same thing with porn and that. You look for relief in this thing, but it actually takes away all your peace of mind. We need to live in a way today that when we wake up tomorrow, that we are proud of that. And if we're not living like that, we need to really look inside and we need to fucking change. And that's what helps me a lot is habit tracking. I have a habit tracker over there with certain simple daily habits, and I track them, and I have an accountability group I send it to. And the first habit is sobriety. Without that habit of sobriety, all the other habits won't get done. And another thing that helps me is a piece of paper that's split in half. That's the level 10 version of myself, the level 1 version of myself, and I compare. What are the values of the level 10 version of myself? What are the values of the level 1 version of myself? What are the results the level 10 version of myself gets? What are the results the level 1 version of myself gets? What values do they both, these two opposing sides of me, have? And I'll tell you, the level 1 version values instant gratification, selfishness, comfort, being lazy. That's the level 1 version. But the level 10 version, he's got long-term perspective. He is wise. He values progress. He values adventure. He values life. He's enlightened. He's ready to go through whatever it is to move forward. Any pain, discomfort, fear, he's ready to for anything. And his life is marvelous. And the level 1 version, his life is terrible. And I noticed that when I was teaching pickup and I was like coaching guys on how to get better results with girls, they let their level 1 version just take over. And you're talking about even successful entrepreneurs in that, fucking giving into fear of approaching females. And you need to ask yourself, how does my level 10 version behave? How does my level 1 version behave? The level 1 version of us, it's a scared little boy who's lazy, who's undisciplined, who's lost and confused, and that is no way to live our lives. You know that Andrew Tate said that success is like a highway that everyone can be on. But there's all these different off ramps to becoming a loser, and people take those off ramps all the time, and it's true. And the question is, where are you going to be in a year's time from today? Where do you want to be in a year's time from today? Get that in your mind. You know, part of my morning routine is that I write down my goals. I write down 10 goals for like a year, 3 years, 10 years, different timelines. But I write down 10 goals, are written in the present tense, and then 8 ways of how I will achieve those goals. So I'm thinking about what I want and how to get it throughout the day. And that helps me. That's part of my morning routine. In the evening routine, I review that and I review the level 10 version of myself, because I'll open up to you guys. I just had another relapse. I'm clean now for about almost 2 months, but I had a relapse recently where I almost died. I literally had cardiac arrest and it was fucked up. And like after that happened, I thought to myself, like, what am I going to make my life about? You know, what actually matters to me? And what matters to me is obviously living a good life and a full life, but it's also like self-development. I'm very passionate about self-development. I'm very passionate about motivation. I'm passionate about, you know, a person's ability to improve their life. I find that interesting. And I want to share motivation with you guys. I want to go on this journey and I want to inspire people. And it took me almost dying to actually like understand this at a deeper level. So since that happened to me, I quit smoking cigarettes. I obviously quit using drugs. I'm much more disciplined now than I was. And I've got a lot of plans and all that. And I'm going to be uploading videos every day on this channel. I'm going to have another 2 channels actually on YouTube channels. And what I'm doing is I'm making a group for people to track their habits with us. We already have about 13 people in the group. It'll be about $30 a month, and it'll be an accountability group where we track our habits together. And every day you send a picture of your habit tracker to the group, that you're training, that you're working hard, that you're eating clean, whatever the habits are that you put on your habit tracker. And we'll do 2 calls a week where we connect with our goals. We see like what's holding certain people back, and we connect with the truth, you know, because this lifestyle of self-discipline, it can be very hard, especially in the beginning. But what's harder than this is living a life without discipline, because pain has to be paid. There's a life has pain involved with it anyway. And either we'll discipline ourselves to feel some pain in the moment of striving to achieve our goals, or we're going to get the pain of the regret and the pain of, if you go through drug addiction, then you know that pain is even worse. And I want to leave you guys with a quote over here from the USOE journal that I wrote, and it says, "Happiness is commonly mistaken for passively experienced pleasure or leisure. That conception of happiness is good as far as it goes, but the only worthy object of all our efforts is a flourishing life and an improved world. True happiness is a verb. It's the ongoing dynamic performance of worthy deeds." So yeah, no matter where you are at, things can change a lot, and they can change quickly if you commit to improving the habits and stopping the bad habits, you know. And I'm going to prove to you guys that people do change, and that positive habits can fix anything.